Trojan Sports Now.
The baseball team is coming off a midweek game loss and looking to get back in the win column. Troy heads to Boone, North Carolina to take on conference foe Appalachian State. This will be a 3-game series for the Trojans. Troy is currently 15-15 on the season with a conference record of 4-5. Troy currently sits at number 7 in the conference, while Appalachian State has an overall record of 7-21 and a conference record of 2-10. App State is last place in the Sun Belt Conference, and this will be the first time for the two teams to meet. The team will look for another conference series win as they take on Appalachian State over the weekend.
The softball team will look to take on conference foe UL Monroe in a weekend series. The last time the Trojans played the Warhawks, Troy was in the Sun Belt Conference Championships when Troy fell to ULM in the first round to the Sun Belt. The Warhawks lost in the losers bracket to UL Lafayette 14-6. This season, the Warhawks are looking for a championship as they are 24-8 this season. In the Sun Belt, ULM is 8-2 at home, while the Trojans have a record of 18-16. Troy is also struggling in the Sun Belt with a record of 4-5 and are ranked 7th in the conference, while the Warhawks are ranked at number 2. And head coach Beth Mullins is excited for a conference series on the Trojans' home turf.
I love being at home anytime. I think we have a great home record. I think we're 11-4 or 5 at home. I think we have a great crowd that comes out and supports our girls, and they love playing at home. So anytime we can be at home, it's a great thing for us. And obviously the Sun Belt, it's always going to be a dogfight every game you play, and so it's going to be a dogfight. I think ULM has a great program like anybody in the Sun Belt. So we're going to show up and give everything we got.
The Trojans will start the weekend series this Friday.
The men's tennis team is number 57 in the country and ready to move up in rankings. The team will head to Orlando, Florida to take on UCF. Troy is currently riding a 10-game win streak and will look to add to that. The Knights are currently 13-8 on the season and 0-2 in conference play. At home, UCF's record is 6-3. Troy's away record is 9-4. Then Troy will head to Winter Park, Florida to compete against Rollins College. Rollins is currently 10-6 on the season with a conference record of 1-3. At home, they have a record of 10-2. Troy will look to defend its 20-5 record along with its 10-game win streak.
The women's tennis team will look to snap their losing streak as they travel to Atlanta, Georgia to take on Georgia Southern. The Panthers are currently on a 3-game win streak with an overall record of 10-8. However, the Panthers are 6-1 at home as the Trojans travel to Panther territory. Troy will play with an away record of 2-5 with an overall record of 7-7. Troy will then turn around to focus on Appalachian State the next day. The Mountaineers, as of now, have an overall record of 7-12, whereas Troy has a record of 7-7. Both teams struggle on the road as App State has an away record of 1-8, while Troy has an away record of 1-5. The Trojans will head to Atlanta this weekend.
The track and field team has hit the midway point of the outdoor season and will look to make some more top place finishes. Troy will head to Auburn University to compete in the Tiger Track Classic. In their last tournament, several Trojans finished with top place finishes. Karina Cox won the discus throw, while Jovar James and Demetria Aliyah both claimed second place finishes. And head coach Mark Davis said he expects a lot out of his players at this next competition.
Just getting ready for some big performances. We know that the competition is going to be tough. There's minimums in a lot of the events that we have, so we're looking forward to it. Though we just want to make sure kids are going in, competing, and not shying away from the competition.
Troy will look to claim more top place and first place finishes as they compete.
The men's golf team will travel to West Point, Mississippi to compete in the Old Waverly Collegiate Championship. The Trojans previously played on this course at West Point in the 2014 season and tied for 9th as a team out of 15. Individually, Philip Brennan led the Trojans on a familiar course as he tied for 5th. Out of all the Trojans, Jared Betcher had the best performance as he has sunk 4 out of 8 holes on the course. Head coach Matt Terry says he expects the players to have the same type of success.
Schools there, Lafayette will be there, and so will South Al, and the guys always put those guys on the mark. That's what we tried to do this past week, and weren't able to get it done against Georgia State. But we got 2 more conference schools there, and then we got 2 schools ranked ahead of us, and Florida ranked 37th, and then UAB ranked 32nd, which is another in-state rival. We want to make sure both those teams are playing well. We should get paired within the first round, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, we'll get in there and get after those guys and have 3 good rounds of golf on Monday and Tuesday and come back here and get ready for conference.
The Trojans will compete next week.
And before we go, this past Sunday will go down in Trojan history as the day current head coach Bobby Pierce surpassed legendary head coach Chase Riddle as the winningest coach in Troy baseball history.
With the baseball team's win on Sunday, a record was broken as head coach Bobby Pierce won his 435th game, becoming Troy baseball's winningest coach. Pierce broke legendary head coach Chase Riddle's record of 434 wins.
I was just telling Dr. Hawkins that 13 years ago when he and I sat down together, after I had a conversation with Coach Riddle on accepting the job and getting his approval, much like you do when you're going to marry a man's daughter. But I remember that conversation very well with Coach Riddle. I go a long ways back with Coach Riddle. He was a big part of my life and my coaching career.
And with Pierce surpassing Riddle's record, he said he still holds firm to the advice from the legendary coach.
You're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. And why that piece of advice is so important, because baseball is a roller coaster game.
Assistant coach Mark Smart has been with Pierce through all 435 wins and said that Pierce deserves every bit of the recognition.
He gives credit everywhere. He never takes credit. He deserves all the credit. He's a great coach, better person, does a great job with our players and our team. So I'm proud to be a part of it.
And after all his wins and years as a head coach, Pierce's piece of advice was,
stay true to who you are. Make sure your players understand that you care about them. Always have a passion for what you coach and teach. And be fair to everybody that's involved, either directly, the players, support staff, reporters, journalists, umpires, which is very difficult at times. But just be fair to all and respect the game.
Pierce now has 435 wins under his belt as he finishes out his last season as Troy's baseball head coach.
That's all the time we have for Trojan Sports Now. Check us out online at trojanvision.troy.edu to catch anything you missed.
For Clay Yeager, I'm Amy Austin. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Trojans.
Trojan Sports Now.